I'll give you something to joke about. I do not have DeMar in my top 10.
You're sick.
Yep.
Did you forget about him? Or you don't think he's top 10?
I don't think he's going to be. I think he was this season that just passed. I don't think he's going to be. But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's HoopTalk, the podcast, episode 16. We appreciate y'all for joining us again. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you leave a basketball emoji in the comments and share with all your friends and family. We do appreciate the support. We got a big announcement for y'all today, but as usual, we got the same people with us every single week. For those of you who have been keeping up through this journey, through our 16 episodes, we want to make sure you are all aware that this is going to be our last episode for our first official season of Hoop Talk, the podcast.
Yep.
We're going to take a little break, prepare for the new season, do a little bit of rebranding, possibly change up our logo, change up our graphics, just try our best to see if we can use this free time to really beef up the podcast. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in as often as you do. We appreciate you guys for the subs and the comments and the likes and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be back bigger, better, and stronger. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our day with a lot of things going on in the basketball world. We're going to start off with, as usual, extension talks. A lot of players have been getting some brand new extension over the last few weeks. This week we have Jamal Murray.
Sickening. This is sickening.
Jamal Murray just signed a deal for 4 years and what is it? 4 years and $208 million.
Yes, sir.
Which is roughly a little over $50 million a year. So what do you guys think? Overpaid, underpaid, paid just right?
For the Nuggets, they paid him just right because they have to, but that's an overpay for every team, I think.
Jamal Murray, you think so?
Yeah, do you think he's worth, what is that, 35% of your cap?
I think you put him in the same boat as like a Jimmy Butler where you're paying him for the postseason work that he does, not the regular season work. Yeah. So, yes, I would say yes.
I mean, he didn't play that well this last offseason, though.
He didn't play badly. I mean, the first series, he hit 2 game winners.
But he still played awful, efficiency-wise.
I don't know if I would say awful. Awful might be a little bit of a stretch, but even if he had one bad offseason, I don't think a team can, in a negotiation room. Yeah, in a negotiation room, I don't think an agent can allow you to just sit here and say my player is undervalued just because you don't like his performance in one playoff when he's been carrying this team, along with Jokic, of course, for the last 3 or 4 playoffs.
He's their second best player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
By far, so.
I just think $50 million for him, it's a little bit more than 50 because it ends up closer to 60 by the end of it. I just think that's a little too high. But, what other option do they have? I agree on the decision because they can't do anything else. They do need him. But I do think, if he was going into free agency, he doesn't get this contract.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, definitely played awful. That's for sure.
Bro. Yeah, he did not play well.
Yeah, you were right. But, I mean,
definitely played awful.
He snapped on the Lakers. But, he was
he
not
didn't
the
even
most
play
efficient.
against
Yeah,
Lakers.
he wasn't the most efficient versus the Lakers either. But, like I said, that's just one playoff series. That's okay. In a negotiation room, I just don't think they can get away with saying, oh, well, he played badly, so we're going to take a couple million off of this.
But he's played well in 2 playoffs. He's played below average in 2. So he's 50-50.
The first one doesn't count. That's their first playoff appearance, and that's to be expected. You don't really use that as your factor. So you look at the 3 playoffs that matter the most. They made it to the conference finals, and then they may win a championship. And in both those situations, he was an elite player.
Yeah, I don't think the Denver Nuggets are wrong for making that pay. I just think overall, if any team offered him it, I would think it's an overpay.
I mean,
that conference finals is crazy though. That year they went to the conference finals, 50%, 45.
Yeah, he was snapping that year.
89.
It was
insane.
him and Donovan Mitchell going back and forth, right? I think when he was on the Jazz.
The bubble.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
See, I'll pay him just off of that. Did they not go to the playoffs 2 years in a row? Is that what happened?
He was injured.
Oh, he didn't play. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. What were you saying, though? You were saying
I
something.
was going to say that, at the end of the day, he's their second best player. He's their, B. So you got to pay their B,
Yeah.
He's also a leader. He's also probably one of the most tenured Nuggets next to Jokic, who was drafted by them. So it's kind of like thank you for what you've done, and hopefully thank you for what you keep doing. And like Nas was saying, he's like a playoff guy. There's not a lot of guys like that in the league. So not paying him for the season. They're paying him for what he's going to bring like in the playoffs. So at the end of the day, when it comes to that contract, I think it's fitting. And I think he's deserved it. I don't think people understand that NBA players a lot of times get paid for what they did versus what they've done. You know, that's the only sport, that they actually do get paid that way.
Yeah, I think he got paid just right because at the end of the day, I think, like I said, you put him in the same boat as Jimmy Butler. You're paying him for what he produces for you in the playoffs. He has the ability to carry a team far, along with Jokic. I can't say carry, but he helps carry a team.
A great Robin too.
Yeah,
he compliments him well.
In the playoffs, he's arguably been one of the best, sometimes the best point guard in the playoffs. So I'd say in the last 2 times that they were competitive, he's probably the first, second, or third best point guard in the whole playoffs. So
he wins his matchups every playoff. Like if you think about it, even the playoffs against the Grizzlies, not the Grizzlies, the Wolves when they lost, he was still playing better than Mike Conley. Even though he was playing really bad, he was still playing better than Mike Conley. And if you think about the Lakers series, he was playing better than D'Angelo Russell. So it's just like, even if it was not good statistics, every playoff matchup he's gone against, he's played better than the guy across him.
I don't think he played better than Conley, but he destroyed Russell. Bro,
Yeah.
D'Lo was not doing well at all.
Lost a lot of confidence.
not a difficult thing to do, though.
Yeah. Well, they still got him on the team, so what do we expect next year? The same.
More of the same.
The same.
But to play devil's advocate, though, one thing I will say is I've never been a fan of. I've never been a fan of how players are valued. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like the idea of no All-Stars, no All-NBA, first, second, or third team in his entire career, and he's getting paid $50 million, which is the max.
It just came off a massive injury that made him miss 2 postseasons.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I've never been a fan of these rules that they've set in place to decide a player's value. It's super weird. I love the fact that these young black men are becoming millionaires. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to put any type of negativity towards the fact that these guys are creating generational wealth and all that stuff. But
Because I want that.
in all reality, like, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like you have no accomplishments except a championship, which you won with Nikola Jokic, a 3-time MVP. You know what I mean? So like 3, right? 3-time MVP.
But like I said, this is the only sport that you get paid for what you've done versus what you're going to do. So, I mean, I think they're going to win another championship within that,
I don't think so.
I think it's possible.
They are still built next year to be a very good contender, maybe even a winner. So I think they're still built to win. They have lost a lot of pieces now, so I get where you're coming from, and that's a lot of their energy pieces. But they still got Brown, I think his name is. He's going to be, I think he's low-key making a case to be 6th man of the year next year.
He's probably going to start, though.
At what?
He's an active that will small forward.
Oh, they lost
or a
KCP,
shooting guard.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's probably going to start.
Never mind.
If Jamal
Wasn't
Murray
a good take, but never
has a
mind.
down year
Great player, though.
and they don't go far in the playoffs, is the contract worse to you? If he has another down year in the playoffs?
No, 1 year is not enough because he's signing a 4-year extension. He would have to botch 2 out of the 4 years.
Okay.
If he botches 2 out of the 4 years, then that's when you're going to look at this contract like, God damn, I can't believe
And it
we
has
gave
to
him
be
this
in a
money.
row to me. It has to be back to back. You can't be like 1 year good.
Yeah, it has to be back to back. If he does 1 year bad and then the next year he goes crazy and then he plays bad again, it's like, well, you did just see him go crazy, so let's see if he does it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think. I don't think they have the opportunity.
He did earn
the
it.
championship personally.
Yeah. He earned it. It's a lot of money though. But you got to think about it. These contracts are going to be stupid. They're going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger.
50 mils would be nothing. 50 mils would be the new 15.
Yeah. I mean, even like the mid-level players are getting paid more than like Jeff T was talking about. Like mid-level players get his contract now.
And he was an all-star.
And he was, an all-star, accomplished player at that. Like, it's insane. Like, these guys are really getting paid a lot. Like, to me, the contract that jumped out was Nembhard's because he could have still got more money somewhere else. And he's getting paid like $69 million to come off the bench.
Bro, Austin Reeves was realistically pretty much a 6-man last year, and he easily could have got $30 million a year. I guarantee it, without a doubt.
He's getting lowballed. But the Lakers did that.
He chose to because he wants to
Our
win.
team definitely would have paid him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Magic were willing to throw the whole sink at him. So, yeah, for sure.
This is not the worst, but is it the best? I don't think so.
Wouldn't have been a terrible idea. He would have been a decent fit. I think KCP makes more sense for them though.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. He's a better defender.
You know who else is getting paid though? De'Aaron Fox. Oddly enough, he's getting paid by another NBA player. De'Aaron Fox is actually signed
That's
to the Curry brand, which I think is the wildest thing in the world because Curry is an active player. I think that's so crazy to me. Did that
Jordan
happen
Brand
with Jordan?
did it in the 90s.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Who did they sign?
Jordan split off of Nike, I think, in 1996 to form Jordan
did
Brand.
they sign somebody though? That's what I'm saying. I never
Yeah,
see De'Aaron Fox is signed to the Curry brand while Curry is an active player.
LeBron has a.
LeBron doesn't have a brand.
Yeah, he does. He has
Not a shoe brand.
No, he has someone signed. He has what's her name signed? Asia for the Vegas. Yeah.
No, she has her own Nike deal. LeBron doesn't have an individual Nike deal.
Bro, I swear I thought that's what I saw.
No, she has her own Nike deal. That's her own signature shoe with Nike. There's no LeBron
She
attachment.
must get exclusives from LeBron all the time, though. I know they have some type of relationship.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she's like the GOAT right now, and LeBron is, of course, going to look after her.
True.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. But, yeah, my point at the end of the day was De'Aaron Fox just released his new signature shoe with the Curry brand, which is, I'll put it up on the screen. It's dope. The shoe itself is, a dope shoe, but the logo is crazy. The Fox with the D, that's the type of creativity. Can't speak English. That's the type of creativity we need for our logo. That's what the hell we need. I pointed the wrong direction, but you guys see it right here. Oh, that's perfect.
I
Look
like
at
that the Curry logo is actually like a 3-point shot, so it's like this.
Yeah, that's a different logo than what he started with, right?
I love that.
No, he's been. I don't know what he started with, but he's been using that since at least 2014.
I think he started with something different when he first came out with the shoe, I believe.
Also, really quick for the Jordan Brand question. So, 1997, he switched over to Jordan Brand from Nike, and they signed Ray Allen, Vin Baker, Eddie Jones, Derek Anderson, and Michael Finley.
What year?
1998 and 1999.
I did not know that.
No, was he retired?
But then he comes back in 2003.
No, he won a championship in 1998, so he wouldn't have been retired yet.
Oh, wow, that's actually pretty cool.
It's crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's dope. I didn't know that. I guess I was incorrect there. I should have done my research. But it's so crazy though. Yeah, it's so crazy that a player is signed to another player that's currently active in the league.
Yeah.
Does that mean
At the same position.
Does that mean Curry owns De'Aaron Fox? Is that how that works?
No, we're not.
Curry is De'Aaron Fox's father.
Is,
I will say this. I think it's signed.
is Stephen Curry a slave owner?
I'm not even gonna touch that. But I will say I think this is signs of Curry actually throwing it out there that he's gonna retire soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely.
This is a big sign.
That's like one of the biggest signs I saw. I think Curry has, like I said, I don't want to get
Think
into.
so?
Yeah, man. I mean, think about it.
Bro's 37.
Yeah, he's 30. Like he's old.
He's
Man.
not 37. He's turning 36 this season.
I swear he's 37.
You think he's 37 currently? No, he's
Yeah.
definitely not 37 currently.
He's 36, turning 37.
Or maybe he's turning 37, but last time I saw. Let's see. Well, you guys can continue the conversation. I didn't mean to slow your roll.
You're right. He's 36. My bad.
He's
March.
36, and he's turning 37 next year, yeah.
Okay. So he turns 30. I mean, it's still, he turns 37 this season. How many more years does he have?
Yeah, but when the season's about to end.
But still, though. I don't expect him to.
It's March.
I
The
don't
season
expect him
ends
to
in
play
April.
3 more seasons. I think he
Yeah,
has
3.
maybe.
Yeah, two is realistic. Yeah, normal.
So him
39.
starting to get the Curry brand out there and start to get people prepared for it
Yeah.
makes sense.
He also signed a very elite player. This wasn't just like a B player. Like I think this is a real high tiered point guard. He made our list, right? He's on our list.
Yeah.
So
It'd be crazy if he did it.
Right. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this signing, like I said, I think it's retirement, but it's also like I think we're gonna see more signings soon. And I like that it wasn't like a rookie either. Like I really like that he got
It's an
someone-
established
Yeah,
guard
established
at
And
his
he's, like,
position.
and he's in California, just like
Yeah.
Curry. Like it just lets you know
I
exactly.
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, no, it just lets you know like it's coming to an end, but it's also going to be something beautiful because I think the brand itself and him himself, he stands for a lot of great things. So at the end of the day, with the Curry take that I have and everything like that, I just feel like we're going to have more signings this year for sure.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
There you go. I love it.
That was deep. Well, speaking of point guards, Trae Young is another point guard that has been in the headlines. I don't know if you guys had a chance to tune into his most recent.
Trae.
I agree with what he
Comments?
said because if you put me in Trae Young's body, I would also be in the NBA with his skill and his passing and his shooting.
Well, that's all different.
So I do agree with that.
That's different than what he's saying. So Trae Young made a comment. Let me put it up on the board for you guys. Not the comment itself, but I'll try to add it to my edits in there. But Trae Young made a comment that if he was 6'8", he would be the greatest player of all time. For reasons, Yeah, for reasons that he decided to lay out. I think it was a conversation regarding Luka, and that's how that came up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I saw the debate on Gil's Arena today, this morning or this early afternoon, and I don't actually agree. I don't believe that it works that way at all. If we're talking hypothetical fantasy situations, then of course
that's
if
what
you
he's saying.
Yeah, if you just add all your skill sets and make yourself taller, then that's a whole different story. But like, you know, if you're just adding the height and keeping it realistic, then like we can't just sit here and say you're just gonna be the same player. Like, you're gonna be slower. There's no guarantee that your dribble.
But using his hypothetical, like using what he said specifically, where you take his current skill set and you just amplify it to 6'8".
No, he wouldn't be the greatest player of all time.
I think he'd have a case for being up there.
No, not at all.
Bro, he's averaging he averaged 29 and 12 at 6 foot.
Yeah, that's fine. I think he's not a defender. He would not make my top 10 just because of that. Most of and I'm not gonna try and go in a debate about my top 10, but I'm just saying my personal top 10 list only includes players that were two-way. Almost. I think maybe one or two weren't. Maybe.
But Steph Curry's one of those guys who teeters, but he also had a season where he averaged 2 steals that year.
Hot take: Steph Curry's not in my top 10 players of all time.
But he's not far, though.
Continue. Hurry up.
Oh, he's definitely in my top. You got it.
We can do that another day.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 10 point guards or top 10 all time?
Players.
Okay.
If he's the number one. Okay. Anyways, regardless of the fact, man, Jesus. Okay, I'm back. Regardless of the fact, when it comes to, you know what, I lost my train of thought. I'm not even gonna sit here.
Well, back to Trae Young. I disagree with him.
Yeah. Okay, back to that. All right. So my take on that was I can think of 2 NBA players already who were 6'1", around 6'3". First Curry, and then second AI. If AI was 6'8", he'd probably be the best.
Kobe said it too. Kobe said we should be lucky that AI is not 6'5".
I'm telling you, like those are the 2. And then Isaiah Thomas, I think he would still be better than Trae.
Both Isaiah Thomases.
Which one?
The one for the Boston Celtics.
I also think Zeke too.
Yeah,
Zeke.
I always say
I'm not
Zeke.
even gonna do that.
I have an uncle Zeke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But regardless, I don't think he would be the best player who, if they grew, would be. He doesn't play no defense.
I don't think he would be the greatest player of all time at all.
I don't think he'd be the greatest, but I think he'd be in the top 10 list with his current height.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think I don't think just because you make him taller, he's gonna propel a team to a championship. I don't think just because he's taller, all of a sudden that he's gonna be one of the best players in the league. He's gonna be phenomenal, but if he's just gonna do the same thing he does with a taller height, he's just gonna be Luka. And I don't.
But he's gonna have the shooting of Jason Tatum realistically, because I consider
Trae Young's not a phenomenal shooter at all.
He's
hate
a great shooter.
much.
He takes terrible shots because
that makes him not a good shooter.
But he has to take those shots because of his height, because he can't separate.
That makes him a bad shooter. We can't say because he's taller those shots are suddenly just gonna go in. We can't say that. That's unfair.
But that's what we'd be assuming, because he's taller than other point guards that are guarding him.
I don't believe that.
Like the people that are guarding him would now be shorter than him.
Even Luka is around that same height. He's not knocking down those shots at that type of clip either. So, like, why would Trae Young all of a sudden
I would expect him to be about the same efficiency as Luka.
Which is not phenomenal. They're not some phenomenal three-point shooters.
38%.
Trae Young is a 35% career three-point shooter.
But I'm talking about if he has that height, he's going to shoot.
Luka hasn't. He's a 34% career three-point shooter.
Luka shot 37% last season.
Last year, he's been in the league for 5 or 6 years. He's shooting 34 for his career.
But his team is not as good as it was now, so he has the spacing he needs now. That's where it kind of comes into play.
Now we're also adding stats to the fact that we can't just make him a better shooter because
you have to
he's
look
taller.
at context, though. There is context added to it. That team, Atlanta Hawks, they do have shooters on the team. They have Bogey. That's it, actually. Just Bogey. There's nobody else.
Jalen Johnson was knocking down the shots, and De'Aaron Hunter was also
DeAndre Hunter is just, he's a mid-range guy, but he's not efficient enough.
But at the end of the day, Tyler, it goes back to what me and him are saying. Play another way. You can't make a case for that. We've never seen it.
In order for him
this is all hypothetical.
Yeah, in order for him to fit into, I'm only basing it off of the clip that went viral, and that's just the fact that he would be taller. If we have to continue to add more things to the hypothetical, then he's even further away from the truth now, because he never said nothing about make me knock down my threes better. He never said nothing about make me a better defender. He just said make me taller with how I play, and I would be the best player in the world.
What was his average this season? 3-point percentage.
This season, I think he may have averaged around 37,
I like that. 37, I like that.
But that's not phenomenal shooting. Like,
37%.
Especially in this generation where we got more and more shooters averaging 40 every year.
He's 26 and 11. I like that. At 6'8", I like that.
Yeah, but not the greatest player of all time. That's the point of the situation.
I agree. I don't think he would be the best player of all time.
I don't even think he would make a top 10 list. Yeah, I think he would score more because he would be able to finish a little easier on the rim.
He would probably have an easier job defending.
I'd say his mid-range could arguably be better, but like at the end of the day, like I'm not just going to give him all these stats. The only thing that would make logical sense to me is the finishing ability, because of course your height is going to, but just because you're taller doesn't mean those shots are going to go in. Because like I said, he doesn't play that different from Luka, and Luka is taller than him. Like him and Luka have a very similar type of way of impacting the game. I'm not saying they're the same player. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Their play style is different, but they similar archetype.
Yeah, they have a similar archetype of play. Like they're very aggressive to score. They create a lot of opportunities for others to score. You know, they're not playmakers. They're volume passers, in my opinion, which we can get into that another day. But making him taller would just make him Luka. And as of right,
I've never heard that before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we could definitely debate that one day because
I think Russell is.
I have a great take on that. But either way, you make him taller, he's just Luka. And as of right now, today, and maybe in the future things will change. As of right now, I don't think Luka finishes his career as a top 10 player of all time.
But can you acknowledge that he absolutely has a chance?
Absolutely has a chance for sure. Trae Young believes that he would be guaranteed, and I think Luka is not guaranteed. And you're literally just making him Luka. That's my opinion.
That's what I was thinking the entire time. I was thinking he'd beat Luka.
Yeah, you just beat Luka.
Yeah. And
I don't even think Trae Young would average 34 points per game.
I think Luka has that opportunity to become in the top 10. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to take some time. He's going to have to impact the floor defensively. Same thing for Trae Young. I want to make sure we don't disregard the fact that this is all about Trae Young. He would have to play defense. He would have to. It's the main reason why Stephen Curry's not on my top 10 list of all time.
What height would you have to make Trae Young to where he's unanimous in the top 10?
7'1".
No, there's no height that wouldn't make it.
No, come on, it's 7'4".
7'1".
You have to add other hypotheticals to it. So what else is What else are we giving him? Is he just going to be the same player?
I'm saying give him somebody's body. Give him Victor Wembanyama's body.
And he's going to have all his same skills.
He's going to have Trae Young skills in Victor's body. You don't think that he's going to be a slightly better defender?
That's scary.
Just because of his body?
There's a potential that he could be a better defender, but I
think at 6'8", he'd be a slightly better defender.
There's a potential that he could be a better defender, but there is plenty of 6'8" players who are terrible defenders.
But how many 7'4" players are there that are terrible defenders?
I can't even think of any 7'4" players, but like I don't really trust.
I can think of one 7'4" player I trust right now. That's Victor, and I'm putting him in Victor's body, same skills, and he'd be up there as a GOAT.
Victor's body, that's a whole different story. But I mean,
give him Joel Embiid's body.
The only thing about it at the end of the day is that you can't add skills to him. So I cannot say he's going to be a better defender. That's unfair to the scenario. Just based on the quote that we are basically referencing, if we create a new scenario, then yes, now we can add whatever we want to make him the greatest of all time. I can make LeBron have Curry's shot and freaking Steve Nash's free throw percentage. You know what I mean? And he'd be the most unstoppable human being on earth. Probably have 10 championships in a row.
Why don't we do a Trae Young career sim with him at 6'8" and then 7'4" and compare them?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh God, 2K's wild, bro. But either way, I personally don't think he would be the greatest of all time just by adding his height. He
would not crack the top 5 ever. At all.
I think he definitely would be a much better player because he would have more ability to do certain things that he can't do right now. And who knows? It could even make his team a little better. It could mean a lot of things. But like top 10 all time is crazy, Trae. I'm sorry. He didn't say top 10. I think he said greatest of all time. Yeah, he said greatest of all time. That's what he said.
He didn't even say greatest. He said one of the greatest.
No, I think he said greatest.
Nope.
Because that's the quote that I got. Yeah, I think he said greatest. But either way, we won't stick too much on that, Trae. At the end of the day, I think you're wrong. Tyler seems to believe you. But
I don't think you're guaranteed top 10, but I think he'd be on the same trajectory as Luka, and I do think Luka has a chance. I don't think it's guaranteed at all, but
I just don't think he's the best player that I would. He's not the 6-foot player that I would make grow if I had like a magic.
I give it to CP3 or Allen Iverson.
I would definitely give it to Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson would have been crazy. He would have been like a Kobe on drugs.
The only way I would make a player taller if I had the ability to is if we're also guaranteeing their skills don't change. But that's really hard to say, and that's the point they were making in Gil's Arena that I'm on board with. Like, you make Trae Young taller, his skills are going to change. He's going to be slower. His dribble's not going to be the same because we all know the lowest man wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't dribble the same when you're that tall.
Yeah.
And, you know, there have been some pretty decent or great dribblers at taller or at, you know.
Paul George.
Yeah, taller players. But, like.
Say LeBron, too.
Okay.
I do have a
I
question,
don't know
though,
if I would say that at all.
before we move forward.
He kills people off the dribble all the time, man.
I think he does. I think it is.
But it's more of a speed thing, not like a handle thing.
I don't think LeBron's been fast for
It's
a
like-
long time, and he still kills people.
I think
off.
LeBron's faster than most 20-year-olds in the league right now.
I disagree.
Are you crazy?
No, I disagree now. Before I would.
No,
agree,
LeBron.
but
There's
now I
a.
disagree.
I could name a lot of 20-year-olds right now that are not faster than LeBron. Not off the top of my head. I will have to look it up.
More
But
20-year-olds that are faster than LeBron than they are. LeBron is not the same, bro. If
but
you've been watching
can you
LeBron-
admit that LeBron is likely faster than a lot of 20-year-olds though? Can
Yes.
you admit you can
I
find?
think-
Could you find right
I'm
now
convinced.
a list of 10 players that LeBron is faster than?
There's not a lot of 20-year-olds you can match up against LeBron, and it's going to be a good day. But like
For who?
he's not like the
For
fastest.
who? For the 20-year-old?
Yeah, it's going to be a bad day for him.
Oh, right.
20
Okay,
years
I see
old.
what you mean. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's not just speed,
No, but I'm
it's
just
skill.
talking about athletic ability. LeBron is more athletic than a lot of players in the NBA that are half his age.
It's not the same. Maybe because I'm just used to his head being at the rim. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron's head gets closer to the rim than a lot of players in the NBA that are half his age.
I don't want to change the subject.
You're
Here,
It's
no.
not the same.
Let's go back to the subject because I have a question.
I want to change the
We
subject.
can
I
come
don't want
back
to get
though.
into this.
This is a really important question before I forget.
It's not the same.
Which 6'8" or taller player could you turn into Trae Young's height and they're still just as good as they are now?
KD,
Paul George, Kevin Durant,
Tracy McGrady,
Trae Young's height.
Penny Hardaway.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said just as good? I don't think that's possible. No, I'm sorry. But would be great, yeah. But just as good, I don't think KD
What about
would
in
be just as
in
good.
your top 10, whatever it is for basketball? Which of those players could you turn into Trae Young's height and they're just as good?
The thing about the top 10, those
nobody.
are physically gifted people. They're not normal human
Which
beings.
and we're taking away the physical ability. So
The only one that's somewhat likely is Magic because he's a point guard and he can still do a
I'll
lot
say
of his
Magic in
point
there.
guard
his
stuff.
thing was being a 6'9" point
Yeah,
guard.
but his height played a big role in his ability to play. But
So you don't think his height for Trae Young would be able to help him, but you think it helps? It does everything for Magic.
Well, it's also his play style. Magic was a pass first.
No, I don't
guy.
think. No, I'm saying I think his height would take away a lot of stuff from him, but I think he would
Yeah.
still be great. I don't think he'll be in my top 10. Anybody in my top 10, you make him 6 feet tall, and he's
Is he
not
a
in my
winner,
top
though?
10.
Because he's a winner. A winner's a winner wherever they go.
No, I don't think you draft a 6-foot Magic Johnson and you win a championship. I don't think so at
6'4"
all.
Magic Johnson is Rajon Rondo. We were
Rajon
saying that.
Rondo in 1979 would be trash.
Oh, I don't think what.
100%.
No, what I'm saying, a 6
On
foot.
the Lakers, they're not winning a championship with that.
What? A
They're
6
not.
foot Magic Johnson is Rajon Rondo.
They're not winning a championship with
They-
Rajon Rondo.
Bro, you're tripping. You're
Magic
disrespecting.
Johnson's height made a gigantic
I was talking
difference,
specifically about you
especially
calling
because of
trash.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, I was just trying to prove a point, but especially because of the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was injured and he had to play a center position. What are you going to do? Put him at the center now?
I don't think they beat the Celtics.
I don't think
But
they win. They may win.
He's not trash, so that's all I'm saying.
No, yeah. I'm just trying to
He
exaggerate
does
to prove a
everything
point.
Magic does. Other
just
than,
short.
Like, guard the biggest
No,
player.
I don't think Rondo's trash as a player. No, that's not.
It's on tape, though.
I was exaggerating to say that they wouldn't win. They would not be able to win.
My take on your take is that when you say Magic Johnson being that small, I just automatically decline Rajon Rondo. That's all I'm saying there.
Yeah, but they wouldn't win. They wouldn't win with the Rajon
No,
Rondo.
but if we're going with his original question, which is if we shrunk a player in the top 5, would they still be good? Yeah. You just turn into like a B player. You turn into a top 50 player.
Yeah, exactly. So making a player shorter would make him worse.
Is Rondo a
Yeah,
top 50
for sure.
player of all time? Let me not get too deep.
It's arguable.
I'm going to save it because we're definitely going to talk about LeBron for next week or I guess next month. But
It's the season.
I'm not a LeBron guy, but I got to defend his ability to be an athlete.
I
'cause
DM LeBron 3 times a week on average.
you know who
He's never responded.
you know who I can't guarantee he can jump higher than though? Julius Randle. And there goes another segue for the day.
Killing the segue.
Julius Randle, which is actually crazy. I just found out today that he was trolled on social media. I actually did believe the rumors. I got trolled as well, which, by the way, you're the one that told me them in the first place. So I definitely believed them. So Julius Randle fed into the lies of social media, and now he looks like a dumbass. There was a post about the Knicks not selling his jerseys at the stores anymore.
NBA Central did that.
Yeah, I didn't see the page, but Yeah, it could be right. But he saw it, and I guess he wasn't paying attention to what he was looking at. He believed it. He made some comments on social media, which were cryptic comments, so he can get away with it because at the end of the day, he can just make up a lie and say that that's not what he meant, or he was talking about something else, blah, blah, blah. But he did respond to the photo that was posted, and then he left cryptic comments on his Instagram story, talking about the truth will be revealed or something like
Yeah,
that.
I told you about that. Yeah. I thought he was out of here. So what happened?
It turns out it was fake. It was fake news. His jersey was definitely still being sold. I don't know where the photo came from. I don't know what happened. I'll post it so you guys can see what I was referring to. But he got tricked. He got bamboozled, as they say.
Well, he got tricked.
He definitely got tricked first.
He got tricked. That tricked me.
He tricked the world. He tricked the world.
He would really fed into that. Like, it just let me know how emotional he is. And Kobe would not be proud of that at all.
Kobe was a huge Julius Randle fan, by the way.
Yeah, he wouldn't be
Random.
proud of that post. That post was unacceptable.
Random side note. But that brings up a can of worms, though. What do you guys think about Julius Randle since he's already on the board as a topic?
I think he should get traded. I think at this point, I think he obviously is showing his true colors. Like he said, the truth shall be set you free or whatever.
I used to.
I think they can go get a center. I think they pick up a decent center and maybe get better and deeper at that position.
Mitchell Robinson is good though. You can pick up a center in free agency
Just
or
not
something.
healthy enough.
I mean, what are you going to go? Realistically, what do they go get another power forward?
So I used to think they should trade him. I think at this point they should keep him. I think they've built enough around Brunson and possibly Randall to where it could work and it could make sense.
He's injury prone.
Yeah, and I think you can't deny his effectiveness at the end of the day. Like when he came back from injury, they went 12-2. You know what I mean?
He didn't play bad in the playoffs last year either.
Yeah, he's not a bad player at all. He leaves a lot to be desired, I guess you could say. Last year he did.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
His shoulder was messed up.
Not this year that just passed.
Yeah, my bad. I said that weird.
Yeah,
like
2023.
Yeah, 2023.
Gotcha. He did play good.
Yeah, so he had a great regular season this year as well. He shot great from the 3-point line.
He's always going to be a weird player because they
need
need defenders. He was, actually. Yeah. They need defenders, and he's not that for them, but he's a great offensive
But they've
guy.
Surrounded enough defenders
That's
where
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
make up for it. And Brunson himself isn't exactly a poor defender. I wouldn't really call him like a stopper.
He's just physically limited. That's all it is.
I wouldn't call him a stopper, but at least Brunson's not a liability. So if your only liability is going to be Randall, you surround him with Hart, DiVincenzo, Michael Bridges, Michael Bridges. You basically just, make up for whatever he doesn't do.
Lineup and put him at the 5?
No, I would take him out.
To close out a game, I would put him at the 5 for sure. You're going to need that scoring ability.
Put OG, Mikael, Jalen, and Josh Hart on the court. That's a lot of covering up. That's a lot of defense.
If he's not closing out a game, then he needs to be traded. I don't think he's a player.
In a death lineup, I don't think he should be in, but I think he'll be closing out.
Why not in the death lineup?
Isn't a death lineup what you use to close a game?
No, a death lineup is. I'm talking about death lineup from the Warriors.
Yeah, the death
small
lineup.
ball.
Yeah, it's a small ball. I call it death lineup.
Yeah, that's the lineup they use to close the game.
But it's never been Randall.
Yeah, it's like Iguodala and Draymond Green.
Yeah, the lineup that you use to go on a run.
But that was also the lineup they used to close games, though, so it would still correlate.
But I don't think Randall should be the one closing in a lineup like that where he's center. I don't think.
But I've never seen a death lineup that doesn't close a game.
Grabbing a rebound because he's able to dribble up and then they just start running up the court. That's actually kind of scary. They'll be a lot faster than last year.
That's assuming they got the rebound and they missed because Randall's on the court.
I do love defense. Like I preach defense as a major factor for winning, but I definitely do believe like he can be in the game and it won't actually
I agree.
kill them. Yeah.
I think they need a center though. That's the issue. I think when he's on the court, they do need a center for when somebody does eventually blow past him. He's that player that they attack on the switch constantly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's quick on offense, but he's not
arms.
laterally quick, and he has T-Rex arms.
Yeah, he has very short arms, and he's very stiff as well. But yeah, I used to think he should get traded, but I don't think so anymore. I think
what upgrade would they get?
That's exactly the point. I don't know where they would upgrade realistically. So I think they run it. I think they've done enough, man. I think a training camp with all these guys together, they can figure it out. And Julius Randle is a very Thibodeau-friendly type of player. Like he's great in the post. He plays hard. He's a volume rebounder. And then overall, he can score. He can get buckets. And he's an all-star at the end of the day. Multiple-time all-star. He's not just a one-time all-star.
Jimmy Butler wanted to trade.
I would take Jimmy Butler over him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, every time.
I'm saying,
It'll be a tough lineup, though.
Jimmy Butler wanted to trade, and the first place he picked was New York. You think that they can muster up something to go get Jimmy Butler with him being packaged?
I don't think they would, personally.
I don't think the Heat would take that trade because I'm sure they would get a better trade from like the Celtics or something.
Yeah. I'm not even sure the Knicks would either. Like, that's a
Well,
tough
it's
situation to put him in.
now. It's contract for contract, and they make this almost the same amount. That's what I'm saying.
It depends on what apron you're in, but either way, I just don't think the Knicks would actually like attempt to go for that trade. They've built too many wing pieces to add another wing. It'll be difficult for Thibodeau to manage that.
Jimmy at the 5, calling it. Not playing.
I don't even think they make enough the same money. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is $48 million, and then Julius Randle I think is only $35.
Oh, he's on that old TV contract. Got it.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that bro. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, I definitely thought Randall was making 40-something million. Because he just recently signed a deal, didn't he?
No,
He's 28 and 30, but he has a player option next season. The season they got for
28
this.
and 30? What?
Yeah, 28 and 30 mil.
Oh, really?
28 this year,
damn,
30
I thought
mil
he
next
was
year.
making in the 40s, probably.
That's for him. That is perfect. That is
Which is
like
crazy
a great
'cause
contract.
you got freaking Jamal Murray is making 50.
Exactly.
It's outrageous.
Exactly.
Julius Randle's a multiple-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Wasn't he All-NBA? 13? Randle?
Not this year. Maybe 2
No,
years
not
ago.
this year, but I thought he was at one point. Yeah, I'm going to look that up, actually. That's crazy.
He averaged 23 for a season one time.
I hate to
Bro,
go
I think he
back.
averaged 25 at one point.
Yeah, he's not bad. Like you said, I didn't know he was that bad of a defender, though.
Defense has always been his issue on the Lakers, on the Pelicans. Everywhere he has gone, defense has always been
I
his
don't think
issue.
he's horrendous, though. I just don't think he's, like, good either.
He's limited. He's like DeMar DeRozan. Like he's a smart player who's good offensively. They're just physically limited.
He's a 3-time All-Star. That's crazy. Jamal Murray got it bagged.
Exactly.
God damn.
He was most improved too. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
and he was
two-time
All NBA
All-NBA.
twice.
See? Yeah, he's come on. What All-NBA teams did he make?
How much did he average?
I mean, All-NBA second team and
24,
All-NBA third team.
24 and 9. He had a down shooting year, but like you could see for his career, he's been a pretty decent shooter.
All-NBA second team is crazy. Damn, he was balling.
Yeah, he's not.
Damn, he was averaging 41% from three.
Yeah, bro. I would say I would expect Julius Randle to shoot around his career average, 34% for three, and that's perfect.
Yeah,
He might be better because there's going to be more spacing.
He had a year. He started in New York averaging 27 and then immediately jumped to 41. That's
Bro,
crazy.
he averaged 3 assists that year, and then the next year 6. Don't even forget that part.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that offseason. He must have taken steroids or something. What the hell?
Nah, he was shooting good, man. I remember that year because that was the year that
He was doing everything good.
Yeah, that team wasn't bad either. They weren't like the worst team.
Thibodeau
He
said
was
they were
most
getting
improved
Brunson.
player.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
snap.
had Derrick Rose on
I didn't even realize
Yep.
that.
He was 8th in MVP voting.
That's actually pretty high. God damn.
Yeah, he was balling.
How did I just forget about this season for Julius Randle? That's
Bro,
crazy.
And then he had a better season 2 years after, I think.
That's the same year Greek Freak
Yeah,
won the
it's debatable.
championship. That's why. And he played the same position.
He was in the voting for Clutch Player of the Year, apparently, which is actually pretty dope.
I really do think 2023 was a better year for him. He averaged more. He percentage-wise, he's a little bit down from 3, but I mean his 2-point percentage is up. I don't know. I think there's an argument.
Honestly, that year that he had all that nomination going on, that was the year that Greek Freak averaged like 33 and 10 or something.
They won the championship that year too.
Yeah, he's
That was
never
the
averaged
year.
33. You crazy?
Yeah, that was the year KD went to the Nets. That was a lot. That was a lot going on that year. That's why that news was kind of like.
Speaking of KD, he's on the ad right there.
Really do
That's
that.
CeeDee Lamb.
Looks like a football player. Yep. I knew it.
KD really do got a peanut head.
Bro, that man is everywhere.
But what do we got next? Yeah, so next we got our predictions. I think it was last week we did our first predictions. We decided to alter a little bit how we're doing it. Last week we all gave our own individual predictions. We thought that was a little bit of a mess. So this time we're just going to go look at every game together and debate with each other who we think is going to win or lose. And we're going to try our best to take a couple things into consideration. I personally just think, who's going to be the better player, better team at that point. But, there's other factors that we can consider. And we're going to go ahead and put a couple of teams up on the board. We're going to do the Central Division.
Shout out my Central homies.
And we're going to start with the Bucks, the first team that I got up on the board. Let's predict their record for the first 10 games. Let's see what we got here. So preseason ends right here.
23rd.
I gotta remember what we did for the 76ers.
And I forgot. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I'm not even gonna lie. So let's listen. If
I think we said the 76ers lose the first game.
listen, they'll never know until they watch the last episode. So if y'all want to see if we don't know what we're talking about, go watch the last episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, give them an Easter egg hunt.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But let's see. We got the first game of the year for the Bucks is going to be the 76ers. I think this is actually pretty tough. I think I had the Bucks beating the
I think I got the
Sixers.
Bucks taking it because the 76ers are implementing Paul George.
Yeah, I got the Bucks Sixers beating the Sixers.
Say so, because of the last choice. So yeah.
No, here, let's hear your take, though.
No, I just feel like 76ers can beat them. I think so.
They can, but let's if you're
If you had to bet.
if you're trying to bet money that you cannot lose,
Put
I
up,
think the Bucks got. I mean,
There you
yeah,
go,
Bucks
see?
got more like
now we got something going here.
together.
for all these, you're putting them onto the Hard Rock or Prize Picks or whatever you use.
Yeah, just think of it that way.
Let's look at this one.
Okay. Wow.
No underdog picks.
got the
Just
picks, bro.
straight up. If you had to bet money on it, who would you
You're
pick?
gonna try to make me change my takes, guys.
You're damn right.
They're cracking down.
So we got the Bucks starting 1-0. Then they're gonna play the Bulls 2 days after. I got them.
I have
beating-
them bullying the Bulls.
Yeah, they're
and
gonna,
the Nets.
I expect that to be a 20 to 30 point win, and the Nets as well. Any disagreement
Unless
so
this
far?
is a Cam Thomas game.
That schedule gets tough.
I think Tan Thomas can score whatever he wants, and they still lose.
If he scores 50, it's over for the Bucks.
All
But
right.
I think the Bucks got it though.
I've seen someone score.
LeBron James, actually.
I've seen Devin Booker score 70 and lose, so I really don't think
Yeah.
that's not gonna matter. But
That's also the reason that Avery Bradley didn't get a All-NBA first team. Can't forget that.
so we're all on the same page, 3-0 so far.
3-0 for me.
All right, then we got the Bucks versus the Celtics. I would book this as their first loss of the season.
I agree.
Yeah, me too. I think the Celtics are going to be on a revenge tour.
I think the Celtics might go on a streak this year at some point, like a crazy one.
I think they can beat that record, the streak record. They have a good enough team to do it.
29-1 is hard though.
They could do it. They could do it.
It's
So
possible.
we got them 3-1 then. They got 3 days until their next game against the Grizzlies. I think that's perfect enough time to bounce back and win this game. I think they got 4-1 here.
I agree.
This is no disagreements. All right, then they got another 3 days, 2 days, I guess, to play the Cavaliers. Tough game. Definitely need to prepare here. I think they lose one of these 2 games. They have the Cavs back to back. I say they win one, lose one.
I agree.
Do you agree with
I
that?
think it's going to go be like the home team. So home team wins one.
Yeah. So I think,
I
because I
think
can never
whatever
tell.
order doesn't matter to me, but I think they win one, lose one here.
I think the Bucks is at home the first one, and then the Cavs at home the second one. So regardless, 1-1,
All right, so that means we have them at
5-2.
what? 5-2. You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-1, 4-1, 5-2. Yeah, you're right. 5-2. Then we got the Jazz, and I think that's a 6-2 right there.
I agree.
They got a back-to-back versus the Knicks. I think they lose that game. I think going back-to-back against the Knicks, a very tough, gritty team, I think they might lose that game.
For sure.
Normally, because of additions, I would think a team is bad, but because of the additions that the Knicks had,
I think because
think
of the
that they're
level
just
of
gonna
defense
run
they're going to be
straight
playing.
on.
I just think also, like, if we're going to really be honest, I mean, think about what the 76ers are going through. You guys don't think the Knicks are going to go through the same thing? Adding Julius Randle, adding OG for the first time for real. Like, they're going to have pieces that are new, too, that got to get right. So I just think that we're taking away from the Bucks being probably the team that's most, been consecutively together. So I think they win that game.
I don't think it's crazy for them to win, but I think the additions that the Knicks make, because they already had Randall and they had OG for a part of the season,
Yeah,
that
they
they
never
play
got
together.
to play each other.
They did.
Play with each other.
They did.
No, they didn't. He
Who?
was hurt last year.
No, Randall played part of the season though.
Yeah, but no, OG didn't come until the end of the second half of the trade deadline, and he was hurt already.
I thought Randall got injured the end of February.
He was injured earlier. Than
No,
that.
Randall played the end of the season.
No, he did not. He was injured in January. He was injured during.
Well, time for some research time.
Yeah.
But I have them losing against the Knicks though. And Tyler, I believe you said so too.
Only because that's the only team because they played together in college. I don't think that they're gonna have as much trouble meshing in.
I forgot about that.
That's what it is. If they didn't play together in college, I think they'd have the same situation as
Or are they
Philly.
going to play the same players though? I don't think they're the same players.
That doesn't really matter. They're all like realistically like role players type of guys. Like they're not really like Oops, did I switch to this? Damn it. I think I did. All right, let me try this again.
But I do think that they take that win. I think the Knicks take that.
Oh, yeah, he missed the whole end of the season. So
Yeah,
that
but
was correct.
OG comes and they play together.
That's impossible because he got injured in January.
OG came
That
in
was
December.
correct.
OG came December 30th.
Yeah, but he didn't play because he was hurt when he came.
Right here. OG plays, and then that's Julius Randle. They're playing the same games. They play like 20-some games together.
Oh, I thought he came at a trade deadline. Okay.
I thought so too. December 30th he comes
Never mind then.
against Indiana.
But either way, this doesn't impact anything about
When
the.
does, my bad. When does
OG's right here. And then Julius Randle, actually, it's crazy. Wait, who am I looking at?
So we have then.
They missed the same amount of
Do
time.
we agree on the consensus that they're going to lose this game against the Knicks? Though, is that the majority vote here?
I don't think so, but I mean, yeah, I guess so.
So is that 6-3?
Yeah.
And we have one more game against the Celtics.
They got to take one of them.
They play the Celtics at least 3 times, so I don't think this is the game they take. I think they figure it out later. I think they lose this one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I don't know what the Celtics played before this, but I feel like the Celtics have a back-to-back.
I don't think it's impossible for a team that good to win back-to-backs. I don't think like a back-to-back automatically wins. You're going to split it. I just think it did for this situation, but I don't think it means that for every time they play a back-to-back, they're going to split one win, one loss.
Let's see. I think I'm going with the Celtics here, but I do want to check something.
Yeah, I'm going with the Celtics.
Me too.
Well, there you go. Majority vote regardless.
Ooh. Maybe I should revisit this.
Doesn't really matter.
The series was 2-2 last year.
Voted you.
Yo,
No, I picked the Celtics already.
dictator. Nas
It could
Exactly.
still be.
manager material.
He pushed me down the chairs earlier when I got here.
It could still be 2-2 though. It doesn't have to be that. That doesn't have to be one of the games they win. But next thing we got, so that finished off the season 6-4.
6-4.
So we got
Which
the
I think is a
Bucks.
great start.
Yeah, I think we got the Bucks starting the season 6-4, which is relatively similar to how they started the season last
They have a
year.
really strong start of the schedule, unfortunately.
Let's see what we got for the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are our next team in the Central Division. Let's take a look at who they play.
And it's the same format. They start on the 23rd.
Yep, they start on the 23rd. They're going to play the
Oh my
Raptors.
God.
They have
A pretty easy start to the season.
they play the Bucks twice, and the Lakers and the Magic, and that's, I don't know. Knicks?
The Pelicans, I think
The Raptors aren't even an easy team to beat either. But I don't know. Let's start it off. I mean, they play the Raptors first, I think.
Opening night, I think they got it.
Yeah, I think opening night they get it. They got the Pistons. I think that's a win. The Wizards, that's a win. So 3-0.
Knicks gonna
Yeah.
whoop that ass.
Knicks. I got the Knicks.
Yeah, I got the Knicks winning that game.
4-1.
LeBron going
So
home.
that's 3-1.
Damn, they got LeBron going home early.
I got the
this year.
Cavs winning against the Lakers.
Matchup to matchup, I got the Lakers. I just think AD is too much of a problem for Jared Allen.
I think the issue is JJ Redick.
He
Getting
hasn't
his
even
groove.
coached yet.
That's why I think he's an issue.
I have high hopes
But
for
I'm
JJ.
outvoted. But I think they.
Oh, you got the Lakers winning?
Yeah, I got the Lakers winning.
Oh, nice. All right, so 4-1 it is.
Man, bro.
So 4-1, I got them. I don't know how I think the Magic are going to start.
That's a big game.
That's a tough one.
That's
That's a big
tough.
game because the Magic just
After-
they took the Magic out last year.
Yeah, after getting eliminated,
I'm gonna go Cleveland though. It's
I think
at home.
I think the Magic get their revenge here. I think they win.
At home?
The Magic are at home, right?
No, the bottom team is at
Cavs.
home.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going with the Cavs.
that's tough.
I'm going Cavs.
Yeah, I guess we can go Cavs.
I think we went Bucks on this.
So it's 5-1. So we got
One way or the other.
yeah,
One of them's winning.
we're splitting it. So they started 5-1, so this puts them at 6-2 here because they're splitting these next two games.
Pelicans are underrated.
And then Pelicans and Warriors. I think the Pelicans.
I think Cavs got the Pelicans and the Warriors.
I don't think they got the Warriors, but I think they got the Pelicans.
I'm not entirely sure why you have high hopes for the Warriors, but I think they win both games, putting them at 8-2. Realistically, that's my prediction.
I mean, the first 3 games were relatively easy.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think the Lakers are going to do what they've been doing, start off slow.
Gotcha. The Nets, that's an easy win, and then the Bulls, that's another easy win. So
Bro, do
that
you
was-
see the? It's
the
not even a
Warriors
part of
is
this,
their
and do you
last
see?
game.
It's not even part of it, but do you see how easy their first 20 games are?
yeah, they're about to eat. They're set up for success.
That's not good, though, because that puts them in a situation when they're closer to the playoffs and they're playing harder games.
But also gets in the game shape for the playoffs like that.
That's true.
Changes their
I
mentality.
feel like it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah, injuries happen around that time of the year for that stuff, too. Those teams that play those tough matchups towards the end, they're usually always injured.
They really are because you have to try harder to get that placement. The Central Division is stacked. I forgot.
It is. So we got the Cavaliers starting the season 8-2. They have a relatively easy first 10 games.
Look for a little bit.
Now we got the Pacers also starting the season October 23rd, which is opening night for them. No, it's not. They are away. So, well, I mean, it is their first game.
Well,
But
it's
you get what I mean.
It's Pacers. We all know that.
We got Pacers versus Pistons. I got them winning that game.
Me too.
I don't recall what our debate was between them and the Knicks, but I do think the Knicks match up pretty well. I got the Knicks taking this one. I think the Knicks have the defensive ability to run with them.
Another big one right here. Both the next two games that they play, the Knicks and the Sixers, are playoff matchups that they had last year.
Wait, did we agree on the Knicks though?
Yeah, we agree on the Knicks.
The Knicks are winning, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we said? Yeah. So 1-1.
Philly is tough. I don't know.
I got them losing against Philly. I don't think they played that half-court game well enough to beat Philly.
Well, they beat Philly last year in the playoffs, so we can't.
Yeah, but they have Paul George now.
So now about George matters. Okay.
I've always thought Paul George was a great player. I mean,
No, it was from earlier. All right, go ahead.
Did you have the Sixers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Tyler?
have a choice. Tyler, you're the
I'm
deciding factor.
thinking, bro. I'm really thinking.
I got the Sixers here. It's just a regular season game, so like.
Well, both of you have the Sixers, right?
Yeah. So then they start the season.
I
1-2.
really. Oh man,
I think
I got the Pacers.
I got the Sixers here.
I only have the Pacers. I only have the Sixers struggling a little early, and then that's it. They figure it out within the first 20 games.
I guess that is a factor. I didn't think about that. I think that is what I considered last time we did the Sixers.
Exact same team, so.
That's the thing.
I can go Pacers. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that too. To be
But I
honest.
think Philly is gonna have a monstrous end of the season, assuming they say.
Yeah, you convinced us. 2-1 it is. 2-1 it is. So the Pacers are going to take that one. Then we got the Magic.
Back to back.
I
think they
like
lose.
the Magic.
Because it's a back to
They
back.
beat the Sixers. I think they lose to the Magic in a back-to-back.
Oh, it's back to back. Yeah, then
Yeah.
I got the Pacers.
Yeah, I think the Magic.
Yeah, I got
This
the
is
Magic.
the team. No, this is the Cavs the ones that eliminated the money. So they start 2-2. I think
of
they lose to the
playoff
Celtics.
Yeah, bro.
So that's 2-3. Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans is too early for them to figure out how to use DeJounte Murray. So I think they win there.
That's just going to be scary when they find and unlock that.
They also don't.
That's
going to
be the test. I think that game will show us how DeJounte does away from Atlanta now.
They also don't have a center, at least a good one. So
Yeah.
that's 3-3 for the Pacers because they lost against the Celtics.
I also think they lose against the Mavs next.
I
I don't think that
I can see that.
They
full
match
court
up
offense.
Yeah, they match up well with the Mavs.
I can see that.
I think they take the Magic at home though.
The next one.
Yeah, the next.
What do you think about the Mavs?
So that's-
I already told you the Mavericks. Mavericks.
Oh,
are winning that.
So that's 4-4.
4-4.
So they're splitting these next two, and then they have two more left.
The Magic's.
They beat the Hornets, and they played the Knicks, and we had them losing, right? Do they figure it out and beat them this time, or
I think they'll take a game from.
They
the
gotta
Knicks
take
this
a
year.
game. Yeah,
It doesn't have to
they
be
got swept, right?
it doesn't have to be this one though?
But I think it is this one because it's at
Think
home.
so? So they're splitting. Also, they win these last two games, so they're
Yeah.
6-4.
I like that. I think that's realistic.
All right, so we got the Pacers starting the season 6-4.
They got Benedict Mathurin. He's healthy again, and he only missed part of the last season.
Two more
Nembhard is a god, apparently.
Two
I
more
don't know.
teams to go, and I can already tell you right now, I don't expect to predict a lot of wins here. But let's see what you guys think. We got the Chicago Bulls up next, starting their season on October 23rd against the Pelicans. I don't, regardless of how new the Pelicans are, it's the Bulls. I just don't think the Bulls have anything of substance. Unless Zach LaVine starts this season going
You
crazy.
forgot about Manas Buzelis, their draft pick.
Yeah, I got the Pelicans taking this one.
Me too,
0-1.
0-1.
0-2
can tell
versus
you
the
right now,
Bucks.
I have
0-3. 0-4. 0-4 against the Grizzlies.
Yep.
0-5 against the Magic.
I agree.
0-6.
No.
They can take this one.
I think these two are their first wins
The
of the
Magic
season.
and the Nets.
No, the Nets and the Jazz.
I think the Jazz are way better than the Bulls. Are you guys tripping right now? Do you guys know who's on that Jazz team?
Bro, I think the Jazz team are going to trade a lot of
The best player
people.
on that court is on the Jazz team.
I wouldn't say way better, but
Louis Markkinen.
I have
best player on that court.
I have the Bulls winning against the Nets, and I have the Bulls. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have the Bulls against the Nets, and I have the Jazz against the Bulls.
Yeah, I have the Jazz.
All right,
So that's 1 and 7.
And then the Timberwolves
1
and
and
Mavs.
6, right? 1, 2, 3.
1 and 7. No, 1 and 6. Yeah.
1 and 6. Yeah, 1 and 6. That's 7 games. So we got 3 more games to go.
We can just wrap this up.
Lose.
1 and 8. Okay, yeah. All right. So then,
Yeah, we wrap.
so they start the season 1 and 9. All right, beautiful. All right, Chicago Bulls are going to
But
start.
we're going
the
to come
season.
back because I do think they beat the Jazz.
I don't even think we're going to remember, but I do have them starting the season 1 and 9, or we have them starting the season 1 and 9.
God.
And I can tell you, this next season is going to be a lot of the
Be a
same.
quick review.
Dang it, I pressed the wrong thing.
That's stupid.
All right, so we got the Detroit Pistons up next. They start their season once again. Oh man,
Not even the playoffs.
that's tough.
They only have
go,
one
what's
possible win, I think.
All right, so let's go through these. I got them 0-1 against the Pacers, 0-2 versus the Cavs, Celtics, Heat, Sixers, and Knicks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're starting 0-6. Can we all agree?
I do think they beat the Nets. I do agree, yeah.
I think they beat the Nets, so they're 1-6.
Are we thinking that the Lakers are going to be dysfunctional at this time?
Not at all.
Bro.
Not at
Okay.
all. So
Hornets
that's
beating them too, and the Hawks are whooping their ass too.
so that's 1-7, and then they can beat the Hornets. No, I think the
No,
Hornets.
I think the
can.
Hornets got them.
Yeah,
Hornets are going to be the team.
1-8, and the Hawks. The Hawks is a possibility, but I think the Hawks are the betting favorite.
I have the Hawks still going for the playoffs, so they're going to win early, I think. They're going to try to
So
win early.
1-9 it is then.
Yeah.
With a possibility of 0-10, because they can definitely lose to the Nets.
It is also possible that they go 4-6. I do think that they can beat the Hornets, and I think there's a possibility.
That's a
that the
huge
Lakers-
switch up from 1-9 to 4-6.
No, I'm saying I think that they could beat the Lakers. I'm going
nah.
1-9, but they could beat the Lakers.
I don't think so at all. I don't think they can beat the Lakers one bit.
I
don't even think Darvin Ham can coach us into a loss for that against that team.
He actually did twice.
No, he did not lose against the Pistons twice.
Yes.
No, we did not.
In
I'm
two
looking-
separate seasons.
Hell no, I'm looking it up right now. Let's look it up on the screen. Now put your phone away. We're gonna look at this together.
Do this on Stat News.
No, I'm just gonna look at. All right, let's take a quick little break to determine. All right, well, Pluto's gonna step away for a moment. I'm just
This
gonna
man's
look up
looking
a
at
random.
checkers. I just saw that ad.
All right, well, moving forward, we're going to go over a couple things that have been going on in the WNBA. We actually just got finished talking off screen about Caitlin Clark. I think they lost to the Aces. Is that what you guys said?
85-77.
They lost to the Aces. Caitlin Clark is now, I think she had 6 assists. So let's figure out her record tracker here, and let's see how close is she
Before you
from
pull it
getting
up,
the
I would
record.
guess. I think it's 5 more now.
5 more. So the record is 316 assists in the regular season for the most assists in one single season. Angel Reese already broke the record for most rebounds in a single season as a rookie. Or she broke it as a rookie, but the record itself is just overall WNBA. And Caitlin Clark is about to break a record for her specific specialty, which is passing, or I guess shooting is also one of her specialties. But she is at 306 assists, and she just had 6 today, so she's at 312. So she's only 5 assists away from breaking the record, 4 assists away from tying the record, and she has played 36 games with 4 games left, so I think it's very safe to say she will likely break this record next
She
game.
has to get at least 2 within the next couple games, and that's it.
What do you mean? No, she's
She has to
4
average
away from
2.
tying it.
No, I'm saying 2 within the next couple games. Which I think
Yeah,
is
I think,
more than
I think
possible.
she'll just break it the next game, more than likely.
Are we going to have another real quick hot take on Caitlin and just finally say, again, we told you guys Caitlin panned out?
Yeah, bro.
Do that.
People were wild to say that she wasn't going to pan out.
She broke the assist record in 1 year.
She broke the assist record? She almost...
It wasn't like rebounds from shots that she missed. No shots fired.
These are creation, and like her turnovers, they look bad, 5.7. But a rookie that's passed, she has 8.5 assists a game.
No, in any world, 5.7 is atrocious.
Yeah, it's a lot, but as a rookie, it's not that much. If you compare it to other rookies, it's not.
I genuinely do not believe 5.7 is a number that you can justify at any. There's no level where 5.7 can be justified.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna look past it because you're gonna assume she's gonna get better, but there's no denying that this is an atrocious number.
It is a bad number, but what is it? A 1.3 assist to turnover ratio is not the worst at all.
Lot, bro. That's 5 possessions you gave back to the team.
I agree.
Nah, 5 point. I don't think there's a way to justify. Personally, I just don't.
I
think
agree,
so.
but also if you compare her stats before the All-Star and then after, she's not averaging that amount of turnovers anymore.
Yeah, but like it's all about the regular season in general. I don't think there's a way to justify. Like she's a rookie, it's fine. She's having
that's not justification.
She's gonna turn. Yeah. She's gonna turn the ball over. It's cool. There's nothing bad about it. But there is no denying that is actually a horrendous number at the end of the day.
Her team is so bad at catching these passes consistently. It is wild to me. It is wild. If you go back and watch some of these clips to see what they consider a turnover, is insane.
It's a WNBA thing, though. I feel like a lot of them have a hard time catching, and it makes sense. Smaller hands, different things like that play a factor. Yeah, but like it's not actually a gigantic difference. The difference in the size of their hands is a more big difference than the actual size of the ball.
When I look at these stats, I think the one thing that I like that they
I barely got that sentence out. I'm sorry. Did you hear me? I barely got that sentence out.
You're talking
Dutch. Good. I think the attempts a game, that 8.9 is very
insane.
It's good because they didn't switch her play solid.
8.9 what?
Into the NBA.
3 points.
I don't care about the percentage this year. I care about the.
That's actually good for the WNBA though. 35% of a roundup is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, off like damn near Steph Curry shots. So like at the end of the day, that 3-point attempt is going to go up at least by 2 more shots this next year. So at the end of the I'm looking at this, man. They let her play her game, and look, it actually worked.
It got them in the playoffs for the first time since 2016,
in the playoffs.
2016, I think.
That's all we needed to see. Them in the playoffs. They were the worst team in the NBA, the women NBA, the last 2 years, and now they're in the playoffs. Like, there's not a script you can write better than this, and it's just not going to get talked about as much. But again, I mean,
no, it definitely will. It is. She's everything everybody talks about.
Yeah, but it hasn't been recently, and she's been killing it. I haven't really heard her on the mainstream, like getting the love that she deserves. And
I don't think I've ever not seen Caitlin Clark on my timeline.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see her enough.
On to what you said though, really quick, the Steph Curry thing. The ESPN and I forgot who else actually had a statistic where they showed like the shot range. It had like Damian Lillard. It had Sabrina.
She's up there.
She was shooting a further distance than Steph Curry.
She shoots far.
Yeah, a further distance than Steph Curry.
Understand how far she shoots. I want to know how big her hands are. I know that's so weird, but I really want to know how big.
I want to feel it against my face. Like I want to see.
All right, well,
same time now. All right.
On the other side of it, her rival, quote unquote, as they like to say, Angel Reese is out for the season with a wrist injury, if I'm not mistaken. So
I watched her injured. She slammed her hand down on the ground.
Hopefully everything works out for her and she heals up nice and quick. Get well soon, Angel Reese. We definitely want to see you next season. I expect that she's going to make a lot of improvements to her game. I really do think the criticism.
Jalen Duren.
I think the criticism is going to get to her for sure, and she's going to get better. But
that's her man.
She was in a throuple with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, she likes Jalen's.
All right, well that's where we're going today. On the other side,
Angel Reese is a dog, though. She's a great high hustle.
On the other side of women's sport, in the local scene, right here in Orlando, the Orlando Women's Basketball League finally concluded their regular season with the Orlando Fire winning the the Orlando Women's League championship. They are the first women's league in Winter Park since I think they said 130 plus years. They've never had a women's league. So the Orlando Fire have officially proclaimed themselves the first ever women's champion in the Orlando area, where I think maybe just Winter Park's Rec, I believe.
How many losses did they have in the season? That's the crazy part.
None. They did not lose a single game all year long. They won every game in the regular season, and they also won every game in the playoffs. So shout out to the Orlando Fire, man. Keep it up. I'm not sure how the league works itself. I don't know if they draft players and switch up the teams a little bit, but if they plan on coming back, man, y'all going to need some talent because them girls are hard to beat. That's for sure. So shout out to them.
Undefeated is crazy.
Oh, yeah, shout out to the women's league in general for allowing us to be there, allowing us to
Facts.
create there, go live, and have meetings.
Yeah,
and just being open and accepting showing us love when we're there. That's real pivotal. And like Don says, we just want to be able to be at different leagues. You can invite us, and we're going to show love, and probably have some conversations we shouldn't, but it's.
We pour into everyone. We pour into you, you pour into us, and then we'll help each other.
And they showed us a lot of love, and they were one of the first ones that allowed us to set up and do our thing. So shout out to them, and I can't wait to go see the All-Star game on Sunday. Hopefully, Lisa
and AB that we interviewed were in the finals.
Oh, awesome! That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
Let's move on to our last topic of the day. For our last topic of the day, we're going to wrap it up with our small forwards. We've been ranking the top 10 players at every position that we are predicting for next season. And we are going to move on to our small forward list. Unfortunately, we have some differentiating opinions on how we are going.
When we go, we should talk about how we ranked our people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say right now. We should all just discuss how we're going to rank our people right now. So I'll tell you straight up, last week I tried to go with the method of what position they are playing in the NBA currently. I just was not happy with that. I feel like I was confirming to the masses. I don't like that. I'm going with my personal opinion.
Conform to me.
I'm going with my personal opinion on who are what is their natural position. That's just my opinion based on what I believe and how I perceive basketball. I'm going based off personal natural positions. So Tyler has a difference of opinion here.
For me, I'm going based off what they're going to be playing because there's people like LeBron, there's people like Tatum, there's people like Giannis, KD, all drafted as small forwards, but they play naturally that power forward position. That's what they've been playing for the last few years.
They don't play naturally. They've been playing that position.
But no, now they
naturally.
do.
No, I don't think they're naturally.
Because I do think
position.
KD has lost a step. I do think LeBron has lost a step, and they're too slow to guard, the typical small forwards now.
No, I still think they're small forwards.
That's fair. I don't think you're wrong for that. I just think I'm right.
Well, luckily, for the first time ever, Pluto has the same opinion as me.
But let's hear Pluto explain it.
I just feel like at the end of the day, I got KD in the power forwards. I didn't even put him on this list. Most of mine are like true small forwards, so like Jason, LeBron. So it just all depends, really.
Well,
at the end of the day,
let's see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, let's see who you guys for small forwards.
All right, so my number one small forward for the 2024-25 season is going to be, of course, your boy, Duke legend, NBA champion, Jason Tatum.
Wow, we agreed for the first time. Me too. Jason Tatum.
You should agree with greatness.
Okay. Giving you something.
All right. So in this case, I don't consider Tatum small forward because I don't even think he's really played that in the NBA. I have him as a power forward. So my number one small forward is Kawhi.
What the?
That wasn't your number one before.
I told you this morning.
Oh, you switched it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Y'all having secret meetings now.
Really? Oh, that's crazy. Damn. That's cool. All right.
That's cool. I said fucking Jalen Brunson and get tore up. That's cool.
We ended up agreeing with your take.
Kawhi Leonard because of his list of small
Well, yeah, because
forwards.
the people you consider power forwards.
Yeah, based on how his list is set up, the Kawhi Leonard being the best makes sense.
Because if I have Tatum there, if I have Bron, KD, and all them, then
yeah, he would fall.
He's second to Giannis in that case.
Yeah, so I know there's not much convincing needed because we outvoted, but at the end of the day, I just think his natural position is small forward. He's just been asked to play the power forward because the team sees that more beneficial to them. I do not believe Jason Tatum would be a power forward on the majority of teams in the league. Of course, in situations where teams just have one already, maybe, but let's assume every team is just drafting from the beginning. I think most teams are going to draft him as a small forward. That's my personal opinion. I just think it's circumstantial that they believe he is more useful to them as their power forward. But that doesn't mean that's his position.
Isn't that weird?
He's pretty tall and lengthy.
For him to play center is kind of wild.
Yeah, he's also not a bad defender, so it's not terrible. But I get what you mean. Yeah.
That's actually crazy now to think about it. But JT's number one.
Yeah, so that's the vote. That's going to be JT is number one. So then that leaves Kawhi is who you're going to vote for number two in this point, since he's your next available player. or most
Yeah.
best available player.
I'd vote Kawhi.
Kawhi's going to get on my list eventually, but as my number 2, same exact concept, I have Kevin Durant. I believe he is circumstantially playing the power forward position, but he is naturally a small forward, so he is on my small forward list.
Man, I have Jaylen Brown.
I have Jaylen Brown third.
I have
Oh, wow.
Jaylen Brown 7th.
Wow. Whoa.
But that's because of who I have on my list. So for those of you watching, just because we have players ranked very low or very high for what you believe, it's just because we have differing opinions on what an actual small forward is, not because we believe that player is either that much better or that much worse.
So what are we going to do? Because we're all 3 different.
So
who did you say?
Jaylen Brown.
No, who did you say?
Kawhi.
Kawhi?
This is tough.
It is. I like Jaylen Brown.
So you don't have Durant on your list at all?
Power
You're
forward.
considering him a power forward. You're
considering
also
him a
considering him a power forward. So then we can. So let's say. So I get outvoted on that. So we can take Durant out of the picture.
So now we agree for who's second.
So if I have to vote between the both of you, then I'm
Jaylen
gonna
Brown
go.
is third on his list.
I have one more person above him though.
Oh, okay.
But if I have to decide, then I'm gonna go for Kawhi. I do not believe Kawhi is the second best small forward, though. My counter offer here is LeBron should be number 2 before Kawhi.
LeBron's my power
I
forward.
have Braun higher than Kawhi.
So I think that's my counter offer. This is not the same way we've done it in the past, but I think it would make sense because of our differing opinions.
As long as
What do you
Jaylen
think,
Brown's
Tyler?
3, I can take Braun.
Not your opinion on LeBron being there, but do you think this is the right way of figuring this out?
I can go with Braun.
I mean, he has Braun on his small forward, and you do
Right,
too.
and I do
So
too.
you have to recognize that.
Right.
So
So we are.
Braun.
So that is that the better direction to go?
Yeah, you
Okay,
guys.
so we
can-
agree
both
that we're
came
going to take out
consensus.
Durant. Okay. So we're okay. So that's going to be it. All right. So LeBron is going to be our second best small forward. That means I'm going to be left without Durant on my list. But that's fine. I can understand that. So then, since I cannot vote for LeBron, then I am going to say Kawhi is my third best, which
And-
would also be.
I had
yours.
to put Kawhi because I've
Jaylen
been waiting
Brown
for.
was third on your list.
No, but I didn't
Kawhi
get
is
to
his
put
best player
Kawhi.
available.
I my top 2 I haven't got to put
Kawhi's
yet.
number 9 for me. So I guess,
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah.
You got Middleton over Kawhi?
Jesus Christ, man!
I got a lot of people over Kawhi.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, come on, let's keep going.
That's crazy, man. No, man. Stand on business, man. Tell us why you think Kawhi is that low.
He's not. I don't know if he's gonna be healthy or not.
So I'm just debating on the players, how he plays. That's all I'm looking at. Like
Yeah.
when he plays, is he not better than all
But
these
it's the
players?
ranking for next year, and he might not even play to be on the ranking.
My
But I
thing.
get what you're saying.
I'll tell you the same.
I was
thing that-
originally saying that too, but
I'll
then
tell you the
65
same
games
thing.
is a lot.
Yeah, I'll tell you the same thing I told Tyler. I think for these lists, it's unfair to assume they're going to do worse than they did this year when it comes to playing. He played over 65 games, so I think it's unfair to assume he's going to play less. I don't think that's fair.
I still assume he's playing less, regardless of what Nas said. I think 60 games, but I think 60 games of Kawhi at the way he played last season with slightly less efficiency is better than Jaylen Brown. Just not by much, but it
I
is.
agree. But that would be the vote regardless, right?
Yeah.
All right, so then we are voting for Kawhi Leonard as the third best small forward in the NBA next year. I've been going first, so I'll let one of you guys go first for the 4th spot here.
I mean, I guess
Go
it's
ahead.
gonna have to be Brown.
I have Butler.
I also have Butler.
I have Butler at 4 too. That's crazy. Look at us.
Well, I have Butler at 2.
No, I have Butler at 5.
Oh, I have Butler at 4.
Yeah, but he's my next best available player.
My list is looking like the best one. Yeah, I got Butler at 4.
So we going,
So we're going Butler then?
yeah, because his pick would be Jaylen Brown initially.
Yeah, so we're going to go Jimmy Butler as the 4th best small forward going into next season.
So Brown is going to be the 5th best.
Brown's my 5th.
He's going to have to be my 5th.
Paul George is my 5th. But you guys agree, I guess.
Yeah,
You're writing it down, right?
yeah.
All right, so Jaylen Brown is going to be our 5th. I'm not mad at that. I don't.
Because honestly, these next 2 are interchangeable.
Yeah, I don't care to argue that one. I think that's realistic.
This is where things get different.
So Jaylen Brown is going to be our 5th.
5th.
Best small forward going into next season. My next best available player is going to be Paul George. Who do you got left?
Paul George.
Scotty.
I think Scotty's a power forward to me. That's why I don't have him on here.
I have Scotty on my small forward list, but he's not nowhere near the top.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna have to.
So you say you have Paul George too, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the Hoop Talk podcast is going to predict that Paul George will be the sixth best small forward in the league next year. At 7, I have Jaylen Brown, but the next available option will be Brandon Ingram.
For me, I have DeMar.
I have DeMar at 6, so I can go with DeMar.
Yeah, I got DeMar next.
Where are we? 7?
7.
Crazy, I have DeRozan at 6.
All right,
I have
so
him at 5.
DeMar DeRozan it is. So we got DeMar DeRozan as our 7th best small forward on the list here to our upcoming season. For those of you who want to joke, I'll give you something to joke about. I do not have DeMar in my top 10.
You're sick.
Yep.
Did you forget about him? Or you don't think he's top 10?
I don't think he's going to be. I think he was the season that just passed. I don't think he's going to be. But we're not going to get to that debate because he's already been put on the list.
Sick.
We're going to number 8 now.
8.
So, again, I still have Brandon Ingram available here.
I
What
have
do you guys
Middleton.
think?
I have Middleton at 8.
What? You guys really think?
I have Ingram under him.
Oh, man, I really do want to try to convince you all here. You really don't think Ingram is better than
I
Middleton
think Flacco
currently?
might have a better season
Not to
than
mention another year of Middleton's life?
I'm thinking that one very big thing is going to happen. I absolutely do believe that Ingram is getting traded, and that's where I went into with this.
I don't think he gets traded anywhere where he would play worse.
Oh, that's where I do think that happens. I think he gets traded
Like,
to a
what
team
would be an
that needs
example?
an extra piece. So I'm thinking that he gets traded to, and I forgot the exact teams I was thinking of. I was thinking that he goes to the Heat because they were on his radar. I was thinking that he goes to the team like the Pacers because he was on their radar. I think he was going to a team that doesn't need his scoring as much. They just need an extra person that can score.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I guess, but another year of Middleton, you guys think? So this season that just passed, you think Ingram was better than Middleton?
I think Middleton was better. I think he had a better overall season when we look at everything.
What?
Because I do feel
Damn.
Middleton's a much, much better defender than Ingram.
I do, and I think he's a better scorer.
I think he's a better shooter. I think,
Ball handler.
yeah. Well, that's what I think Ingram has. I think he's a better ball handler.
I don't even have Ingram on my list.
Damn.
Oh, I have him. I do have
I
him.
got Wagner. No one
That's
mentioned
tough. So what?
I
Chris
haven't-
Middleton for number 8? That's what we're going with?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, none of these are guys that I'm willing to debate, so I guess I can accept
Like
it.
Middleton did have a great overall season. I understand Ingram scored more, but
No,
like
I feel you, man.
He's the third option.
I'm not even trying to debate it, to be
He's
honest.
the third option, and Ingram is like the second or first.
Most of the players on my list, I can fully understand why somebody would go a different direction.
yeah, these forwards I realize are pretty similarly ranked. I think.
So we got Middleton at number 8.
Yeah.
So the Hoop Talk podcast is going to vote for
Wait.
Chris Middleton.
Who do you have?
I had Middleton at 8. I put him at 8. Y'all
Well,
killing
you
it.
don't have Middleton next anyway, though. You have Wagner.
Yeah, I had Wagner, but I could go with Middleton at 8.
Okay.
So Middleton it is. Middleton is going to be our number 8 prediction for the 8th best small forward going into next season. I still have Ingram here. So is Ingram going to make
Ingram's
it
my next one.
I have no choice but to bend the knee, but
Who do you have though?
I would have liked Wagner on this list. I think he's going to have a big year next year.
If it makes you feel better, Wagner's my next pick.
here? So Brandon Ingram will be the 9th best small forward going into next season. And as you guys just stated, I also have Franz Wagner as the next available option
So
here.
no one has MPJ on anybody. Like, he's number 10 on mine.
I don't think I would put him in a top 15 list.
Because of his play style, he doesn't offer much other than scoring. He doesn't offer defense. He doesn't
Yeah.
offer ball handling.
To be top 5, you got to be versatile.
Is he a good rebounder? Isn't he 6'11"?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Let's not do the physical trade thing. He's still a good rebounder.
No, he's a good rebounder for a small forward, regardless of his
Yeah.
height.
I think
but
he's a
that's
power forward
that's just
anyway.
not enough to like really for me to matter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He wouldn't make a
I
top
like
15
this
for me.
list. This is probably the most.
So let me see what do we got. So this is going to be our list. This is going to be our prediction for
I
top
agree with
10
it.
players.
Like, I think, predictable list we can do.
Yeah.
This is going to be our prediction for the top 10 best players at the small forward position. We got Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, PG8, Paul George, DeMar DeRozan, Chris Middleton, Brandon Ingram, and Franz Wagner, with some honorable mentions that did not make the list,
J-Dub.
such as Jalen Williams, Michael Bridges,
MPJ.
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, Scotty Barnes, and a variety of other players.
Really left Scotty Barnes.
I have Scotty Barnes on my power forwards.
Yes, we did. But that is our prediction. Tune in to our YouTube channel. We will be posting our top 10 power forwards and our top 10 centers as well. But as we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, this is it for us for this season. This is the final episode of the first season of HoopTalk, the podcast. We appreciate you guys for joining us throughout this journey. Every single subscriber, every single like, comment, share, everything that you guys did to support us meant a lot to us. We're going to be back very soon, a lot more organized, a lot more ready, a lot more scheduled. A lot more scheduled. We're a lot bigger, better, and, everything that you guys want out of a podcast. We plan on
Might even have a better sound.
And what I'm going to do now, since this is like a little insider, I'm going to start a tip jar. And every time I'm late, I'm going to put $1 in the tip jar.
Oh, man, I'm going to be rich.
But the tip jar is for let's say for like a nonprofit or something. You can't just give it to Nas for food.
I actually own a nonprofit. That's the crazy part. Tyler's nonprofit.
What a coincidence.
Okay.
Wow.
That's amazing. All right,
But one last time, ladies and gentlemen, let's check it up. We will see you guys back in October, and we'll get right back into some Hoop Talk, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe. We'll see you guys back in October.
Hoop Talk out.